So, Mikros an. Und wir wechseln direkt rüber. Das waren die netten Entwickler. Frogwares. Epilepsiewarnung, auch immer sehr gut, immer sinnvoll. Werden ethnische Vorurteile dargestellt, die zur Zeit des Spiels in der Gesellschaft leider weit verbreitet waren. Oh. Wurde unsere Heimat die... Oha. Okay. Krass. Was weiß ich über das Spiel? Also es kam diesen Monat raus. Es sah einfach interessant aus und habe mir gedacht, okay, ich frage mal an. Da wollte ich kurz gucken wegen den Einstellungen. Mit L kannst du mögliche Interaktionen mit deiner Umgebung hervorheben. Zum Fortfahren beliebige Taste drücken. Wirklich sehr beliebig. Ah, überspring doch jetzt nicht. Oh. Roter Teppich. Schatten über London. Ui. In der Baker Street. Hoffentlich haben sie Brötchen gebacken.
Dr. Watson, would you kindly close the door behind you so that we can limit the price of your carelessness to merely hours of work rather than days?
My apologies, Mr. Holmes. I found myself rather taken aback. I saw tidier houses in war-torn Afghanistan. Are those my surgical needles?
I ran out of tacks and the matter required immediate attention.
Was that my supper?
Plainly not, for I was the one who ate it.
I set it aside for this evening.
And for that I am grateful.
Is that my bed?
Watson,
Nein.
since you've proven yourself a master of observation, might I ask you to apply your skills to a more pertinent question? Namely, the whereabouts of today's newspapers. They are the key to everything. The newsboy is usually reliable.
Medically speaking, I often find that the key to everything is good sleep. In a bed. Your papers are here, on the table.
Okay.
See what the postman brought today.
Ach, wir spielen einen recht jungen Doktor. Nee. Das da ja, das ist ja der Watson. Aber einen recht jungen Holmes. Oh. Kann ich das da jetzt... Das da sieht nicht sehr lecker aus. Aha, rotieren.
Your order from Barnes' bookshop has arrived, Doctor.
Barnes insists on delivering the books to our door, even though we could easily walk to his shop. That's good service.
Ui, nach dem jüngsten Besuch der schwedischen Prinzessin Ildur in London, der von einer Reihe unglücklicher Begebenheiten überschattet war, gilt das Verhältnis zwischen England und Schweden als angespannt. Ach, man kann scrollen, okay. Liest in London. Zieht die Blicke auf sich und nun die Blicke von seinesgleichen.
Local gossip, all of it uninteresting. Another letter from Werner. I never reply, but they keep coming.
Ah ja, okay.
I don't see the Strand. Where is it?
Pardon me?
I am on the precipice of uncovering a pattern of crime across London spanning many months and involving many men. The missing paper cannot be a coincidence.
That's preposterous.
My dear fellow, Life is infinitely stranger than anything which the mind of man can invent.
Well, life used your newspaper to wipe its posterior, so after that unpleasant discovery this morning, I disposed of it. But in lieu of the Strand, perhaps I can deliver you something equally tantalizing. I have just returned from a patient of mine, Captain Stemwick, who...
No, that will not do. Grab your coat, Dr. Watson. Let us hope nobody has collected the dustbin.
Will der jetzt in der Scheiße graben? Ernsthaft?
I'm close, I know it. I just need one more piece to crack the case.
The dustbin is yours for the digging, Mr. Holmes.
Soll ich den mit entsprechend kleinen öffnen mit der Firma? Was soll ich denn da jetzt ausziehen? Der Stalker.
Der seine Frau arbeiten lässt.
Die Zicke. Lässt sich hier nicht tragen. Hui, na alles klar. Hatte ich mir überlegt, auch zu holen, das Game. Ja, ich hatte angefragt und hab's dann bekommen gestern. Und was soll ich hier jetzt ausziehen? Ah ja, kann rum eine Kopfbedeckung auf. Ah, ich brauche eine Kopfbedeckung, okay.
Ihr seid so dreist. Und überall ist wieder
Hier.
diese dicke Stadt. Und so eine Katze im Weg.
Nimm mal einen Bowler, damit fangen wir den Regen auf.
Ich hab's erwischt. Ich hab so was Fälliges gefühlt.
Sehr gut.
Bei euch kann man nichts machen, ne? Wochenends.
Halt.
Cactus spine. If it gets in your skin, it's awfully tricky to remove, and when laced with poison, the perfect assassination tool.
Das ist schön.
You were mistaken, Dr. Watson. The paper was indeed dirtied, but not how you implied. It's potting soil. See, Watson? The conspiracy is real. Someone tried to poison me.
Poison? You? That's madness.
Oh, mit R2 dürfen wir rennen, okay. Aber wohin?
Get the Strand. Get your copy of the Strand here.
Ja, wo bist du denn?
Get the Strand. Get your copy of the... Sorry, Mr. Holmes. I just sold my last paper.
Glass.
Aber Werbung machen.
Then why are you still here?
Boss pays by the hour.
Jerry, wie geht's dir? Schönes Wochenende dir.
Any breaking news today?
The dog accident. It's the talk of the town.
Yes. Besides the tripe on the front page, anything about burglaries?
I'm not sure, sir.
You're a bright child. I presume you see everything that goes on around here?
Nothing gets past me, mister.
Then tell me, did you notice anyone suspicious at my door this morning?
Like the man with your newspaper?
Precisely. What do you know?
I know the value of a shilling.
Dr. Watson?
Sure, now I can take the day off.
Ja, soweit okay, viel Stress in der Arbeit, aber so ist das. Ist das wieder Open World? Keine Ahnung, ich hab erst angefangen.
Did you see what he was up to?
Nah, not really. I saw him approaching your house, but I had a customer. Then there's a loud bang. I ducked down. Not because I was scared, because I wasn't. I had to protect the merchandise. And all I could see was him kneeling at your door.
Which way did he go?
Not sure. I was distracted by customers. Sorry.
Can you describe the man you saw?
He was carrying a lot of books. Up to his chin they were.
Never heard of a well-read assassin.
Looks can deceive. Hence the appeal of disguises. All right. You earned your shilling. That'll be all.
Thanks, Mr. Holmes. Maybe I could be your eyes and ears. If you have more shillings.
Und bald bin ich pleite. Gedankenspiele. Befinden sich eine neue Frage. Öffnen. Okay. Buch von...
Diese Sachen, warum hier so langweilig? Mein Vorbild.
Was mache ich hier jetzt? Heute Morgen hat der riesige Buch ein Buch für Watson ausgeliefert. Achso, also zu Mr. Barnes.
Come now,
Get the
Mr. Holmes.
Strand.
Murder?
Get your copy
Yes,
of the
Barnes
Strand
has his
here.
quirks, but he also has his scruples.
Not every pawn knows it's part of a game.
Get the Strand. Get your copy of the Strand here.
Du hast keine Zeitung mehr. Wieso verkaufst du noch? Hinweise anheften, um ohne Fallmappe auf sie
Get the
zuzugreifen.
Strand. Get your copy
Oh,
of the
der geht
Strand
mir auf
here.
den Keks. So, hier höre ich nicht mehr. Hefte. Baker Street.
Is this familiar to you?
No, sir, I've never heard of it.
Was? Ah, okay. Nee, hier war ich nicht.
Do you even have enemies that would want to kill you? Okay, perhaps from Cordona.
Mhm. Tränensäcke unter den Augen, arbeitet zu viel. Wie ein Hund, ey. Lehnt sich auf sein rechtes Bein. Schmerzen am linken Bein. Mhm. Dreckige Schuh. Will größer wirken. Mhm. Druckerschwärze. Man hat der Tränensäcke unter den Augen Begleiterscheinungen seiner jahrelangen harten Arbeit. Es mangelt ihn. Er hohe Absätze trägt, größer zu unwahrscheinlich, dass jemand wie er in einem Mordkomplott verwickelt ist, wenngleich die Druckerschwärze. Dass er derjenige war, der die Zeitung ruiniert hat. Es ist allerdings durchaus möglich, dass Mr. Barnes als Figur in einem Grund.
Mr. Barnes, a word. Ah, for goodness sake.
Ist der jetzt abgehauen?
Who
Sherlock Holmes, now will you please...
Mr. Holmes. Golly, I did not see you come in.
Would you care to answer some questions for me?
Well, I wish I could, but I am deep in the weeds with work. How about we reschedule in a month or two?
Come now, Mr. Barnes. It will only take a moment.
Really deep in the weeds with important things. Well, help yourself to any book. Just take it or pay later. I trust you, Mr. Holmes.
Barnes doesn't seem like himself. Why is he acting this way?
You're asking the right questions, Doctor. Let's find a way to coax him out.
Coax him out. Okay, das würde ich jetzt falsch verstehen.
The ladder is broken recently, judging by the freshness of the wood.
Ich suche erst noch ein paar Infos. Oh, Hundi.
So, Barnes has a dog now. Who's a good boy?
Shape ist modern.
I could hardly imagine anything more macabre.
Landet. Immergrüne Pflanzen für eine immerwährende Liebe. Mhm.
Basics of cryptoanalysis, cryptography in Egypt. It appears Barnes has an interesting hobby.
Und sonst ist hier nichts, ne?
Apologies, but I can't hear you. Please come back later.
Ich glaube auch, dass der Angst vor mir hat. Das stimmte wohl nicht.
Finest view London has to offer.
Da gibt es doch garantiert auch einen Kaktus, denn.
In the language of Mycroft's secret agents, it's a sign. Dried flowers are replaced when the job is done. I wonder who the recipient is. An improvised stand, but it does make the flowers more visible.
Ach so. Hoppala. Vielleicht hat er ja eine Idee.
Answer's always been a little odd, but this is uncharacteristic even for...
Hä? Ja, was denn? Ich überlege mir was. Ja. Ich hab nichts mehr.
him.
Vielleicht finde ich ja hier was. Und ich habe noch nicht ganz verstanden, was ich da wie wo mit kombinieren soll. Da kann man nochmal schnüffeln. Das ist das sogenannte Snüffelstück. Keine Ahnung, was ich machen soll. Vielleicht kann ich ja in dem Blumenladen irgendwie was feststellen noch.
Hello there. What's your name?
Lily, I know, not very original. The weather is dreary, isn't it? To be fair, my flowers could use the rainfall.
Mhm.
Encouraging people to stop and smell the roses?
Our national emblem. God save the Queen.
Was sagt der
Really a
Kaktusnadel?
spine? Is this what I found in my dustbin?
Da ist was kaputt.
Pot is damaged. The blow was severe, but softened by something. Here must take patience and care to produce a bloom so beautiful.
Mhm.
I imagine so. I merely sell them. Anything tickle your fancy, Mr. Holmes?
Hält Ausschau oder nachdenklich? Trauerbrosche. Gedenken an verstorbenen Ehemann. Ah, okay. Teurer Stoff. Ungewöhnliche Arbeitsbekleidung. Oh, ne, hier. Lippen. Ganz rot. Will schön sein oder etwas verbergen? Saubere Stiefel. Hat bei Ankunft Schuhe gewechselt.
Mrs. Fleming, you look particularly lovely today. Is there a reason?
Does a woman need a reason to look or feel beautiful?
No, but your distant look suggests you seek one man's gaze in particular.
Who told you that?
Nobody. Merely a keen eye and some simple deduction.
Well, I'll kindly ask you to keep your keen eye to yourself, Mr. Holmes.
What do you make of the flowers in Barnes' shop window?
Well, they could use a bit of water.
Do they mean anything to you?
Mean anything how? I'm not sure I follow, Mr. Holmes.
Why do you think they're there?
Are you suggesting the flowers are for me?
It seems likely, does it not?
Oh, I hope you're right.
One of these things is not like the other.
Come again?
The cactus. Those fearsome spines can prove a devil to remove, and the sap is often toxic.
And a rose thorn can give you tetanus, but we still grow them. The cactus seems comparatively harmless. They have me thinking it must be valuable.
I was under the impression that you knew its price already.
Your guess is as good as mine. The first time I saw this cactus was when I came back from my break.
Aha, der war dann auf einmal da. Okay.
I'm afraid I can't help with that, Mr. Holmes. Are you sure you're asking the right person? I'm just a flower seller. Are you sure you're asking the right person? I'm just a flower seller. I don't know anything about this, sorry. I don't know anything about this, sorry. I'm afraid I can't help with that, Mr. Holmes. I'm afraid I can't help with that, Mr. Holmes. Are you sure you're asking the right person? I'm just a flower seller. Are you sure you're asking the right person? I'm just a
Ich habe
flower
keinen
seller.
Plan, ob ich die richtige
Are
frage.
you sure you're asking the right person? I'm just a flower seller.
Are you familiar with Mr. Barnes?
Yes. No, not really. Well, in a way.
What on earth does that mean?
I know who he is, of course. But we haven't shared much more than a look.
A look?
Yes. Each morning I go for a walk in the park with my dog. And most days I spot Mr. Barnes there with his new puppy. So we see each other. Actually, we once met briefly while our dogs played. He was quiet and seemed unsteady as he approached. But since then, we've never spoken. I often see him staring through the shop window. Sometimes I wonder what he thinks about that would etch such longing onto his face.
Ich glaube, er steht auf dich. Hat sich jetzt schon Wasser gesammelt in dem Hut? Wieso ist das Grüne da? Okay, gut geraten. Ja. Mhm.
I think perhaps I have been chasing shadows.
Do not despair, Mr. Holmes. Even the best of us make mistakes. We better tell Mr. Barnes what we've learned.
Mr. Barnes, I know what you did, and I know why you did it.
I'm sorry, Mr. Holmes. I can't hear you very well from behind the door.
Dann komm mal raus.
You ordered a cactus from the plant catalogue and then left it for Mrs. Fleming as a gift. You place flowers in the window to get her attention and wear high heels to appear taller and more desirable. You are her secret admirer. I couldn't read this morning's edition of The Strand because it was covered in soil and spines. I know you dropped a cactus on it and then fled.
Barnes, it's Dr. Watson. Rest assured, we are not interested in disclosing your personal affairs to anyone, including Mrs. Fleming. Please come out.
All right, then.
So, you know what happened then? I was on my way back from the post office, having picked up the cactus and some books. It was quite an awkward package, heavy too, and when I got to your door, I dropped the cactus in your paper. Forgive me.
I needed that paper to prove a theory and prevent a crime. Your actions were rather disruptive. Your clumsiness carrying the post is matched only by the clumsiness of your romantic gesture.
Oh, it's true. I am useless with this sort of thing. I'm not even sure if Mrs. Fleming noticed.
Okay.
I have neither the experience nor the interest in navigating the finer sex and their peculiarities. Do what you will.
Oh, right. Yes, of course.
So at last, we return to the matter of the paper. I'm investigating a string of burglaries. Did you perhaps read of any before the edition was spoiled?
I don't recall, but you're welcome to read our copy for yourself.
You had an issue of The Strand here all along?
Well, naturally. I am a bookseller. I have a subscription to every magazine and newspaper in London.
So you ought to be familiar with the concept of burying the lead.
Oh no, my apologies, Mr. Holmes. I'll make it up to you however I can. I am an expert on obscure languages and translation and
Yes, okay. Just give me the paper.
Salpeterexplosion erschüttert die Docks.
Come, Dr. Watson. Let us put this matter behind us.
Farewell, Mr. Barnes. I hope to hear good news about you and Mrs. Fleming.
Kann ich hier drin nicht dann Schnellreise machen?
Well, that was an utter waste of time.
An assassination did seem rather unlikely.
There was supposed to be another burglary. I was certain of it. Something you wish to say, Doctor?
No. Well, only that you have a remarkable faculty for deduction and pattern recognition, and that perhaps, if ill-applied...
I see things that are not there.
Yes. It is London. There will always be burglaries. Doesn't have to mean anything.
So it seems. Forgive me. Without something to occupy my mind, I turn into an entirely different animal.
Which brings us back to my news from earlier.
Brauchst du einen Snickers?
I have a case for you, a real one.
Truly?
Indeed. Though perhaps not as thrilling as your stories from Cordona. A patient of mine, Captain Stenwick, told me that his servant disappeared. I said I knew just the man to help. What do you say?
Oh, Watson.
Yes, I know it's not the most tantalizing mystery, nor the story to launch my writing career. But
it's brilliant. Let's go.
Oh, good. Well, his house is nearby. Come.
Das passiert, wenn sich Holmes langweilt. Wo muss man lang? Da lang? Okay. So, damit sich der Herr nicht die Haare waschen muss. Mal ohne.
Not much further now.
Hier? Aber wir können ja mal was Schickes anziehen. Das erinnert mich gerade an Vampire. Das nehmen wir.
Is this lousy attitude of yours because of my altercation with Inspector Lockhart? Did he put you up to this?
Sir, the inspector has nothing to do with it. I'm telling you the same thing I tell anyone seeking a missing person.
Good day, gentlemen. Forgive the intrusion. Captain Stenwick, this is my colleague Sherlock Holmes, the consulting detective I told you about.
At last, a professional. This useless officer refuses to do anything about Kimmy here, my missing servant. What was your name again? I shall be certain to inform your superiors.
Sergeant Ruffles. It's my superiors who made this decision, sir.
Have there been other disappearances lately?
Of course, here and there. When life is tough and opportunity comes knocking, you can't blame those who answer.
Why has the police department decided not to help?
We investigate murders, thefts, fraud, arson, real crimes. A servant walking away from his master is not our highest priority. That said, if we find Kimahia breaking the law, we'll be sure to notify Captain Stenwick. Now, I must be off. Best of luck in your search.
You heard that, didn't you? The way that man spoke to me. I shall need your written testimony. Then we can lodge a complaint.
Captain, perhaps Mr. Holmes' time is better spent learning about your servant, so that he may begin his investigation.
Ah, yes. Quite right. Fire away.
Tell me about Kimahia.
He's foreign. A Maori. All the way from New Zealand. Biggest man you've ever seen. And as strong as two. Dark hair and fearsome tattoos. He doesn't speak a whit of English. Never bothered to learn. But I made do with pointing. I invested a lot of money in him, so he must be found.
Ah ja, toll.
When did you last see your servant?
Kimmy here normally brings me the morning papers, but yesterday I had to get them myself. He must have escaped the night before yesterday.
May I see your servant's bedroom?
His shack is in the garden. You can't miss it.
Did you search the room?
Of course, but only to check he wasn't lying dead inside. Everything seemed normal at a glance.
I take it this is the first time Kimahia has vanished?
Undoubtedly. The man seemed terrified of the city. I think it was all the noise. He never left this estate. Should he cause any damage, I will bear the responsibility, for it was I who rescued him from savagery and brought him here to England in the first place.
Is there any reason Kimahia may have left?
I should think not. He had all he could have wanted. Gainful employment, new clothes, and all the cabbage he could eat.
Das brauche ich auch nicht.
Did Kimahia make off with anything of value?
Heavens, no. I would have mentioned it to Sergeant Ruffles.
Still, he must have fled with some money on his person.
No, no. I kept his wages in my safe. For security.
All right, Captain. I think I have enough to get started. We shall first take a look around the mansion.
Go ahead. I'll be here, mentally drafting my complaint.
Ja, macht das. Schauen wir uns mal um. Oh, Fußabdrücke.
Chewing tobacco.
Ob Kautabak lecker ist?
A shoe print, roughly size 11, with a worn-out sole. These are a workman's boots.
Soll denn hier noch was sein? Da ist doch was. Wie komme ich da ran? Knieabdruck. Hat sich jemand
Looks like a knee print.
versteckt?
Someone knelt here. The
Ah,
amount of chewing tobacco suggests they were waiting a while.
Amazing, Mr. Holmes. To read the ground like an open book.
okay. Das war wohl gut. Durch Drücken von einem wimmelnden Symbole angezeigt. Aha. Räder.
Could have left these tracks. They seem fresh.
Mhm.
This lock is quite unusual. It appears that the key should be bent to the right.
Mhm. Gucke ich mal hier drin.
Impressive. The sack of grain retained the shape of an impact. Someone hit their head here.
Ja, mach doch die beiden Tüten.
Hm. Nö, lass die doch erstmal so liegen. Nach Dienststützen.
Clothes made of Hessian. Is Stenwick really so miserly? No air coming through it.
Oh, Knochen.
Button jobs. The remains of a meal.
Ach so.
The ashes are long since cold.
Was ist das denn?
A heavy chemical odor. Lend me your nose, Doctor.
Ah, I'll never forget that smell after my time in Afghanistan. That's an opioid, Mr. Holmes, a narcotic.
Ach, Narkotikum. Na so was.
A Maori nose flute. Ngurus, they're called.
Interessant. Das sieht aus wie Gesicht. Bin mal eben die Würstchen einkaufen. Jo, viel Spaß und Erfolg und so weiter und so fort, ne?
Ja,
Lieben Dank für deinen Lurk. Ist auf jeden Fall interessant, ne? Oh.
A scrap of Hessian. These were sturdy boxes. It would have required a serious blow to break them.
Finster.
Is this a Tanifa, a Maori water spirit, or something else?
Either way, it's giving me chills.
Da ist immer noch was.
A small navy spyglass.
Mal sehen, was wir noch so finden. Wobei... Ne, da ist nichts mehr. Kriegen wir noch was aus dem raus?
The door to your garden has an interesting lock.
Yes, I have uncommon locks on every door of my mansion. It makes them harder to pick. Kimmy here and I both had a set of keys.
I'll need to borrow them.
No, you'll need to do what I tell you to do. Examine the garden.
Ja, wie soll ich... Idiot.
I thought you were meant to be intelligent.
Do you happen to know Kimahir's shoe size?
I wouldn't have the foggiest. But I'm sure it was enormous. Not that it matters. He spent his life barefoot. Despite my best efforts, he simply did not take to shoes.
Der will keine Schuhe tragen, na sowas.
Are you joking? Why would I know this? Where on earth are you going with this?
Is this spyglass familiar?
I don't recognize it.
Could it be Kimahir's, perhaps?
I doubt it. I never saw him with it, nor could I suggest how he might have come by it.
I came across a pile of Hessian clothes in the shack. Are they Kimahir's?
Yes. I had to give him something to clothe himself. He seemed unfazed by his bare skin, but I found it distracting.
Okay.
Has Kimahir ever indulged in tobacco?
No, the man doesn't even drink.
Are you certain? I found chewing tobacco in the garden.
I controlled Here's expenses since he struggled with the currency. I would have known if he used tobacco. Why are you still here?
Weil ich noch investigiere. Deswegen bin ich noch hier. Der könnte uns auch einfach mal da den Schlüssel geben, dass wir da weitermachen können, aber nee. Aha. Da ist ein Wirbelchen. Hm. Oh. Interessant. Wurde er entführt? Und da hat er wohl einfach nur zu Abend gegessen. Dann wurde der wohl überrascht. Hm? Wieso kann ich da den Schlüssel nicht mitnehmen? Hui. Hä? Ich koche in einer halben Stunde. Jetzt habe ich ja nie mehr Ruhe. Kann man hier nicht nochmal revidieren? Dass man sagt, nochmal von vorn oder so? Hier fehlt einfach noch irgendwie was. Oh.
The rag reeks of smoke. Someone plugged the chimney.
Oh. Damit er hustet, der wird entführt, oder? Können wir mal Meldungen machen, mal gucken, ob der eine Idee hat. Ja, das ist jetzt vollständig.
If you find my man, I have a marvelous whiskey with your name on it.
Okay, also... Hm. Wie soll es dann weitergehen, wenn ich das andere dann nicht mehr, wenn ich hier das da nicht mehr entfernen kann? Bin gerade etwas überfragt. Oh, was ist denn hier? Können wir da außen rum ran? Natürlich nicht. Also der Typ da ist auch keine Hilfe. Ach, jetzt können wir.
This lock is quite unusual. It appears that the key should be bent to the right.
Ja, 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 ja. Aber hat er den jetzt überrascht oder wie ist das? Vor allen Dingen, der kann durch Bäume laufen. Sehr toll. Ach, oder ist das das... Ach so. Ich glaube, der wurde entführt beim Essen. Warum habe ich hier jetzt... Egal. Kaputter alter Wagen steht im Garten, der jedoch nicht vor kurzem benutzt worden sein kann.
Stenwick makes his servant live in a tool shed. You think you know someone.
Dann müsste es ja irgendwo noch einen anderen Wagen geben. Vielleicht finde ich ja doch draußen was. Oder redet er jetzt mit mir? Ja, genau. Weil da ist ja ein Wagen. Ich glaube, die Spuren sind zu breit. Die Spuren sind zu breit. Das wird nix. Auf jeden Fall ein interessantes Spiel, muss ich sagen. Das von gestern, dieses komische Voyager. Ich weiß ja nicht. Hätte der den da drüber gekriegt? Leider keine Ahnung, was ich machen soll zum Rekonstruieren. der vielleicht irgendwo einen Schlüssel verloren hat? Das kann ja auch sein. Oh, was haben wir hier? Holzscheite dorthin geworfen.
Someone moved a cart to this spot and then took it elsewhere. Can't see it anywhere in the garden.
Hat er den mitgenommen, hm? Wie? Okay. Ah, okay. Hm. Mhm. Okay, so muss man das. Ah.
Surveilling from afar, the intruder waited for a window of opportunity. When Kimahir went to sleep, the man crept up to the shack and slipped narcotics down the chimney pipe, then blocked it with a cloth. Kimahir inhaled the sedative and fell into a deep sleep. The intruder tried to move him, but the man was heavier than expected. The intruder fell on the sack and dropped his spyglass. In order to transport the servant, he had to use the cart. The final challenge was opening the garden door. Luckily for our intruder, Kimahir had the key in his shack.
Aber wie kam er rein?
Remarkable. It makes total sense.
Aber wie kam er da rein? Toll, jetzt hat er da das Fernrohr, aber egal.
You'd best have found something by now, gentlemen.
fear that someone may have spied upon HIER. Likely the owner of the spyglass I found earlier. It appears they were watching for some time, as there was an impressive amount of chewing tobacco on the ground.
And your point?
I found the residue of narcotics in HIER's brazier. There are several explanations, perhaps your servant's recreational interest, or an attempt at poisoning.
Cut to the chase, Mr. Holmes.
You said
Ungeduldiger Kerl.
earlier. Did you notice the cart tracks near it? Now, one ought to expect a servant to make regular use of such a thing. Indeed, I would have overlooked the detail were it not for the cart's absence. If, as you say, HIER never leaves your estate, then where did it go?
I expect answers from you, Mr. Holmes, not questions.
I won't keep you in suspense any longer, Captain. HIER was abducted by the owner of the spyglass. When your servant fell asleep, he slipped a narcotic into HIER's brazier to make him sleep even more soundly. In order to carry a man as large as HIER, the intruder stole the cart and rolled him right out of your garden.
Now, hold on. All this simply to tell me what I already know. Why haven't you found him yet?
Weil ich nicht durch die Tür darf.
Arrived a moment ago. It is, frankly, incredible that I have already deduced so much.
Every second you dawdle here, waiting for me to stroke your ego, is another second wasted. I'm not interested in the how, the why, or the who. I am only interested in recovering my investment. Spare me the claptrap, boy, and go and fetch my servant.
Truly, there is no better evidence of a man's nature than the way he treats those who help him. And you, sir, are a brute. The cruelty of your ignorance about the Maori people, your selfish attitude to a man's kidnapping.
The point is, Captain, we're telling you this for a reason. The intruder fled through the garden door, and we need a key to follow his trail.
Well, then you should have led with that. Here you go. I hope you'll return soon with good news. And in the meantime, please teach your companion the art of brevity.
Arsch. Absoluter Arsch. Der will mir dem auch noch helfen. Wir haben noch nicht über die BE-Zahlung gesprochen. Klar, der ist mit dem Fahrrad im pissgelben Fluss entkommen. Hier sind doch 8 Spuren. Ach, ein Püppchen. Oh, wie süß. Oh.
What does it say?
Ah. Da ist ein Brief. Okay.
Sturdy rope, professionally tied in a Portuguese bowline. This knot is often used by sailors to create a bosun's chair.
Kautabak?
Roy Soulsby. Could that be
Ne, nix drin. Oh, was haben wir hier?
a strange substance? I have my suspicions based on the color and consistency, but would you care to hazard a guess, Doctor?
Well, it's odorless, but from the way it absorbs water, I'd say saltpeter.
Then we're in agreement. Well done. Wheels picked up grass along the way. HIER's cart, I gather.
Ermittlungsort abgeschlossen. Was? Sicher? Ich habe ihn doch noch gar nicht gefunden. Boah, Kacke.
A large pile of horse droppings.
Sag ich doch. Oh, und Zigaretten.
Many cigarette butts. Someone stood here for hours. There was a cab waiting here. Our abductor slipped in and then off into the night.
Ach, jetzt ist hier frei. Dankeschön. Hm. Hm. Ja, aber warum? Hm. Mhm. Also kombinieren ist nicht meine Stärke, wie wir sehen.
The strand proved not so useless after all. The saltpeter accident. Doctor, do you recall?
The Port of London, of course. The footwear, the spyglass.
Indeed. We shall need to take a cab there.
Müssen wir jetzt nochmal zu dem und mit dem reden? Ich glaube nicht, ne? Oh, Zeitung? Oh, Regenschirm? Oh, Hut? Wieso stehen die da so rum? Oh, da macht ein Pferd Siesta. Braves Hottehü. Hast hier schön alle zugebaut. Oh, was haben wir hier?
Unnaturally bent legs, yet they look to be a design choice. Unnaturally bent legs, yet they look to be a design choice.
Hm. AT. Also jetzt haben wir schon... Die Sau macht die Beine breit. Wo finde ich denn jetzt eine... Wenn du verlässt, kannst du nicht mehr zurückkehren. Erledige alles, was du hier noch tun wolltest, bevor du fortfährst. Ach du Schande. Das heißt, wir müssen hier alles erst noch absuchen. Falls wir noch irgendein Figürchen finden, oder wie? Dann gehen wir gerade nochmal mit dem reden. Weil dann würde ich den Szenenwechsel wirklich im nächsten Stream dann wahrscheinlich machen.
Are you stupid, Mr. Holmes? Stop loitering and go and do your job.
Ich wäre dafür, dass er es selber macht. Mhm. Hey, wo sind wir denn hier? Was spielt der denn da an der Tür? Neuer Fall, die Träume der Kindheit. Oh. Ermittlungsort gefunden. Ihr Straßentauben und Drachkrähen. Mhm.
Padlocks have names etched onto them. Anne, Tom, Charles.
Ah, in den Puppen sind die Schlüssel, huh?
Children's clothes, judging by the size.
Let's just go. Stenwick wanted results, not pleasantries.
Das ist mir egal, was der will.
A model of a homely room and fireplace. Chimney bears a peculiar form, like it's meant to have something put inside.
Ach, guck an. Okay. Okay. Dann sind die Puppen da drauf zu stellen und dann kriegen wir einen Schlüssel, würde ich sagen. Wollen wir näher ins Klo schauen? Das ist ja interessant. Dass du hier mit dem Messer herummachst, finde ich nicht so nett. Kann man hier aufmachen? Nee. Gut, dass wir noch nicht weiter sind, weil, das interessiert mich jetzt. Ich weiß, wo 2 Püppchen sind. Oh, Katze. Gut, dann, hier hinten ist ja eine Figur. Vielleicht können wir die ja mitnehmen. Nee, können wir nicht. Wieso kann ich die nicht mitnehmen? Muss ich das erst abschließen da oder wie? Okay, dann haben wir doch auf jeden Fall nochmal was zu tun. Ich weiß nicht, ob wir heute nochmal weitermachen. Aber kann gut sein. Gut, gespeichert haben wir. Meine Frau hat Hunger, ich darf kochen. Ich würde euch einfach mal zu meiner Schwester schicken. Die spielt Final Fantasy Online, glaube ich, noch. Mal gucken, ob sie noch live ist. Nee, ist sie nicht mehr? Okay, gut. Dann schicke ich euch wo schicke ich euch hin? Ich habe das Gefühl, dass die alle nicht live sind hier. Nee, da kommt nichts zurück. Das lasse ich. Ach, wir gehen zum Bummel. Der macht The Elder Scrolls. Der freut sich sicherlich über einen Besuch. Ich darf ja jetzt kochen und dann denke ich glaube, ich würde es nachher nochmal weitermachen. Weil es ist wirklich, wirklich interessant. Vielen, vielen Dank fürs Zuschauen. Schön, dass ihr dabei wart. Bin gespannt, wie es wird. Dann. Und ob wir den Fall mit den Kindern da lösen. Also das wirklich interessant. Also dann, vielleicht bis nachher und wenn nicht, ein schönes Wochenende euch. Macht's gut. Tschüss.